Well, good morning, everybody. I'm Jan Erickson from Stepping Aside, and welcome to this week's Esoteric Influences covering the 22nd of November through the 28th. So it will include Thanksgiving Day and all of that. There's a lot of controversy now associated with the holidays. I know our governor wants things to be a little more homebound focused and not having so many people come in. She's kind of given some guidelines for that not everybody is happy about. I know a sheriff in the county next over from us here has already written a letter and says, I'm not going to enforce your rules. Well, whatever. You know, I don't know what to say. You've got people that understand this and people that refuse to. So I don't know. Um, the idea of shared sacrifice seems to be a difficult one for people these days, and I think it's sad because people are dying. People are getting really ill. Some people do very well through it. They don't even know they have it, and then they go out and about without a mask on or just a face shield on or what have you, and then they transmit this to other people. So I don't know why anybody would want to do that. I really don't. But that's kind of where we are. Well, anyway, the newsletter's gone out, so this is in that. And so if you've already opened your email this morning, if you're looking at that, you may have seen it if you've subscribed. If not, you can always go over to the blog at imsteppingaside.com and sign up there. It's on the left side panel. Just kind of scroll down a little bit and you'll see sign up for the newsletter here. And then you get this in your inbox. I also publish it on the blog itself, so it's around. If you don't subscribe to the newsletter. Plus, I share the newsletter everywhere else. So anyway, or at least on Twitter and Facebook. So anyway, all that said, the human design channels that are active this week are awareness, which is reflecting sudden knowing, inspired thought, and renewal. Charisma, it's a manifested response guided by higher self-wisdom. Initiation, yeah, that describes the need to be first. Money describes a driven materialist, just not a materialist alone, but someone who's driven to be one. Surrender describes, now this is an interesting one, it describes the ability to convey a new direction to the group based upon shared memory of the past. So it's like you have this foundation, and from that you're able to convey a new direction to people. But it's not necessarily letting go of the past, but maybe building on the lessons of the past or something like that. So the memory is still there. And lastly, the beat describes an inner resources and instincts that move others in a new direction. So kind of surrender and the beat sort of, well, I mean, they really kind of align together, don't they? So today on Sunday, the 22nd, now we have a 22 for the day, but we also have it for the year and an 11 for the month. So you're looking at master number energies today. 22 is the cosmic builder, and the 11 is awakening, enlightenment, and all that. The rune for today is Dagaz, which is this one here. Kind of means new day or all doors open. The geomancy rune is Rubius, which is misuse of power. It's also passion. It's the adult version of Pur, which is later in the week. I'll show you that ahead of time. This is the little boy energy, but Rubius is the more adult energy, impulse control that doesn't stop. And realistically, it sort of ends up in the realm of misuse of power and manipulation, that sort of thing. Someone who's maybe, I mean, even to the point of being sociopathic. So Rubius can be a really unstable energy. The moon's in Pisces, very emotional. And again, the human design channels for today, anyhow, are awareness and charisma. So master number energies govern Sunday's experiences with an emphasis on profound soul manifestation. Although Degas suggests that all doors are open, they're also open to a misuse of power signaled by Rubius. If this applies to your own interactions with others, be clear about your motives. Today, on Sunday, I should say, I have to get out of the habit of saying today because I write that there. On Sunday, otherwise, this could be referring to the ongoing manipulation and misuse of power by the current individual occupying the White House. Again, we're still in the situation where we're all collectively being impacted by this man and his minions, the people that support and enable him. And until we're done with that, we're going to be dealing with the collective aspect of things as well as the individual aspect of things. So soon that's going to hopefully go away because we won't have that kind of drama to deal with anymore. With the moon in Pisces on Sunday, use your sensitive approach to express compassion and empathy to others. If a stressful situation arises, however, retreat to realign your emotions until feeling more calm or until the situation settles. Now that's the moon semi-square Pluto on Sunday. A sextile between the moon and Uranus suggests that an opportunity may arise that allows you to express yourself creatively. So step outside your comfort zone and let your creative side flow on Sunday. The need for creative self-expression is also favored in Sunday's human design chart. Although you may experience challenges, it may be that your sensitive and creative side is misunderstood by others who prefer a more practical approach. Well, that's to their own detriment, really. Avoid reacting emotionally and instead patiently take the higher road, knowing that at some point others will understand your message and perceptions will shift. And if they don't get you, they don't get you. That's their loss, basically. I just see it that way. I mean, I realize, given my background, I tend to think outside the box anyway, and I'm not the most normal person around, but too bad if people don't like that. You have to be you. You got to do you, right? And the creative side is often misunderstood by other people, so they'll figure it out eventually. Now on Monday, the 23rd of November, 2020, we have a 5 energy for the day, again an 11 for the month, so awakening and manifestation for the year, the 22 year. The rune is Ansus, the Odin's rune, or the voice of spirit communication. And the geomancy rune for Monday is acquisitio, or gain. And it doesn't have to be monetary, okay? I mean, it could be any type of gain, any type of increase, really. The moon is still in Pisces on Monday, and the human design channels remain, I believe they remain, yes, awareness and charisma. So if you take an innovative or creative approach on Monday, you may find that your goals change a bit. That said, be aware of the ego's influence on the outcome so that eloquence and clarity are preserved. You don't want to misspeak. You don't want people to misunderstand. So the moon is still in Pisces on Monday, supporting your creative side. Take a walk in nature if possible to further align yourself in the creative flow. Wear a mask if you're out there, if you're around people, or if it's just around your backyard or your property. I mean, I can do that because I have 5 acres, and so I can wander about and get out into nature. But if you don't have that and you have to do that in a way that you're around other people, wear a mask. Irrespective if you're outside or in, you have to wear a mask around other people now. Let's see. Where am I at? That was the moon. Let's see. I said, I'll just repeat myself. Take a walk in nature if possible to further align yourself in your creative flow. That's the moon conjunct Neptune. I love Neptune. A trine between the moon and Mercury fosters easy communication with others, and you express your thoughts and feelings well on Monday. The placement of Mercury in Monday's human design chart reinforces staying in the creative process, while Venus helps you pay attention to details you may have missed. As momentum for success increases, maintain your perspective, even if it means shutting the door to outside influences that distract or impact your focus. However, if opportunity knocks, don't ignore something that could further open doors to new experiences. It's one of those days where you're going to kind of balance things a little bit. So be open to new things, but, take the time you need to find your balance and all of that, because the moon is in Pisces and it's just like that. So Anyway, on Tuesday, the 24th of November, we have a 6 energy. And the rune for the day is Thursaz, or Thor's rune. So we had Odin's rune on Monday, and now we have Thor's rune on Tuesday, on this catalytic Mars day. Kind of looks like a thorn, doesn't it? Well, it's about protection. It's about breaking through obstacles and all of that. It's useful in weather magic as well. Again, we're going to have Rubeus again for today, though, so a little out of control energy there, maybe. We'll see. We do have a shift in the morning from Pisces to Aries with the moon at 7:05 in the morning. So again, Aries is a Mars energy type of sign. And so again, with Rubeus, you've got some unstable energy you're going to be dealing with. Also, Thursaz, you may be able to control some of it, though. You may be able to have that self-discipline. We add another human design channel today, initiation to awareness and charisma. And so on today, I did it again. See, on Tuesday. Express compassion and benevolence to others on Tuesday, breaking through barriers that have been based on overreaction or unrealistic perceptions. Again, that could be the Rubeus influence, also the Aries influence. Allow higher self to influence your relationships and return to a sense of balance with others. Empathic awareness is strong on Tuesday, and you're sensitive to the woundings of both self and others. That's the moon conjunct Chiron, the wounded healer. However, as the moon travels into Aries in the morning, you may still feel like going it alone in an effort to regroup and reassess situations impacting your emotional balance. Let things go if you're not ready to deal with them until self-assertion feels more comfortable. Because if you try to assert yourself with the moon in Aries, it may not work. If you're not feeling, in balance and whatnot, the aggressive side may come out, and you may not express yourself in a way that you really intend to. So just be aware of that. Check in with your comfort level before doing anything like that on Tuesday. You may also experience the misuse of power by a charismatic person in your orbit today. This is the human design chart talking here. So again, we've got Thursaz, we've got some Aries energy on a Tuesday, and more misuse of power by a charismatic person in your orbit today who may be so focused on the outcome that he or she cannot see things realistically. If so, remain as patient and self-aware as you can so that you contribute to the clarity of the moment instead of reinforcing perceptions that do not align with reality. And again, that's the human design or I Ching influences for Tuesday. Now, Wednesday, the 25th of November, we have a 7 energy for the day. So you're kind of balancing clarity with manifestation. Today, we have Uruz is the rune. So manifestation, the force actually behind the manifestation. So it would be the source presence behind it. We have Conjunctio. We're going to have it again tomorrow as well. That's joining together with others along a shared path. Possibly. The moon is in Aries, so a little bit of, Mars energy there. Human design channels are awareness, charisma, and money. But again, we're going to balance clarity with manifestation on Wednesday by stepping back to understand the greater situation at hand. And that's that 7 energy there. You'd let things settle a bit before, understanding what's really going on. As the virus continues to spread throughout the country, choose healing and safety over joining with others in the typical holiday fashion to preserve the health and survival of yourself and others. Many people travel on Wednesday to get there to so they can be there in the morning when Thanksgiving happens, and we're hoping that people don't do that this year, but they will. So this could be the start of a massive super spreader event. So, and our hospitals cannot take it. Our staff can't take it. Our healthcare workers can't take it anymore. They've been dealing with this since February? I just think that this is sad that we can't get on the same page here. But some are not going to be able to do that. Know that this is not the time to be cavalier or assume anything. Instead, it's a time to come together in shared purpose so as many people as possible survive this deadly pandemic. And that's the real, Thanksgiving, is if we do that, isn't it? You meet challenges easily on Wednesday. Are we still in Wednesday? Yep, we are. But if you're feeling stressed at all, take some time away from the chaos so that you regain your focus, particularly if impulse control is a factor. Now that's Moon conjunct Mars. Intuition is also strong on Wednesday, and expressing compassion or empathy to others may help center your own emotions. Now, that's the moon trine, the ascendant, which I think is in Sagittarius that day, if I remember right. Anyway, and it's also moon in conjunct Vesta. So, a couple different aspects at work there. On Wednesday. Take a leadership role today on Wednesday. I almost did it. If your past experiences can be of value, but do so with a subtle strategic approach on Wednesday. Align with the 7 numerology today or Wednesday again, and take a step back and observe what is needed and then model the discipline required for others to succeed. If challenges arise, take time for reassessment so that you're certain of the path forward on Wednesday. It may also give others a time to reassess their own priorities and perceptions in service to a greater shared truth, which is the human design I Ching information for the day. On Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving. Now, moving on to Thursday, Thanksgiving, the 26th of November, 2020. We have an 8 energy for that day. Spiritual warrior within. Disciplined approach. Compassion, leadership, right? Rado is the rune. Soul journey, integrated soul journey. But are we truly integrated, or is ego controlling the whole thing? Our sheriff next in the next county, I would like to ask that of him. Let's see. We have conjunctio again, aligning with others, joining with others on this day of Thanksgiving. Hopefully, it's just your immediate family that live in your house. I know our governor is saying a couple other people can show up from another house, but don't combine any more than 2 households and no more than 6 people. Well, if you're a family of 10, well, you're kind of done. You don't get to invite anybody. So anyway, again, it's about keeping everybody alive. I don't know. I don't know what the problem is. Anyway, the path to success is not always easy, but it can be made easier if taken in harmony with others. Preserve trust and reciprocity on Thursday by taking a practical approach and by respecting those with more experience. On this day of Thanksgiving, on Thursday, reach out to family and friends to share love and support, especially if you've chosen to keep yourself and others safe by not gathering together this year. Or for Christmas either. We can do this next year. I don't know. I'd rather see them and have them still be in my life than risk it now, right? While the moon is still in Aries on Thursday throughout the day, take time to gather your emotions to prepare for the transition into Taurus in the evening. That's also the moon square Pluto. Apply some self-discipline to the moment and avoid indulging in self-pity or too much, cake and whatever that might happen today or on Thursday with Thanksgiving. The pies and the cakes and the goodies that we have. Be kind of careful there, especially with the Taurian influence in the evening. It can affect your health a little bit. That's also the moon square both Jupiter and Saturn. So you're kind of with it both in square. You got a little bit of tension there, but you've got expansion and contraction all at the same time, so that you're ready to meet your responsibilities head on. Self-discipline and staying in emotional balance helps with that. If asked to mediate a situation or conflict, of course it always happens on Thanksgiving, doesn't it? Know that if what you offer falls on deaf ears, you may have gone as far as you can go. It may simply be that those who seek your counsel aren't yet ready to hear the truth, let alone commit to necessary change. As others remain stuck in patterns that prevent positive results, you may discover manipulation or control over others to be the cause of the problem. It may be best at this point to step back and give the more reticent in the group time to consider the wisdom you offer and reconsider their own perspective. And that's the human design and I Ching influences on Thanksgiving, Thursday, the 26th of November. Now, moving on to Friday, the 27th of November, we have a 9 energy for that day. Feelings of endings and completion. There's a humanitarian sense. It's really just a higher level, higher frequency number, more of a soul level number on in this 11 month and 22 years. So you've got a lot of soul resonance happening there on Friday. The rune is Allies, which is It's thought of to be as it's a protection rune. It's thought to be the elk, represents the elk. It's the bridge to higher consciousness though. I'll say it eventually. Poor though is the outlier here, um, which again is the little boy energy, lack of impulse control and all of that. Not as profound though as Rubius. Taurus is the moon's placement today, and awareness is the only human design channel active on Friday. One door may be closing and another opening with protection of all on the minds of many today as perceptions shift toward a higher level of understanding. Who knows? Maybe you got through to somebody on Thanksgiving, hopefully over the phone. And it's not somebody that you're arguing with, they're in your home. So it's not, immediate family ruckus that went on. But truth that is eluded some appears now to be resonating as a more collective understanding of our shared circumstances is reached. So hopefully, we've gotten it through our heads, so we don't have to deal with the drama come Christmas, of having to revisit this and say, okay, you need to stay apart. It's not time. The virus is everywhere. Blah blah. Right. Although moodiness experienced while the moon was in Aries should resolve itself on Friday, now that more stable Taurus is influencing your emotions, and in conjunct between the moon and the sun suggests you may still find self-expression difficult on Friday. This may surround balancing your own needs with the needs of others. That's the moon opposite Venus, as well as your tendency toward willful or unconventional behavior, which is the moon conjunct Uranus. Take time to respect your own process as well as that of others. Again, if we can just avoid willfulness, I think that's half the battle most of the time. Listen to other people, listen to what they have to say, hear them, let them know you hear them. Manage problems on Friday in a sensible and resourceful manner, avoiding all manner of illusory or magical thinking that will prevent a successful outcome. Realize that this is not the time to win at all costs, and that alignment with the collective will foster a better outcome than ego will provide. Step back if clarity is needed while you look under the surface for anything or anyone, including yourself, that could be limiting your progress. And that's the human design and I Ching influence for Friday, the 27th of November. And lastly, on Saturday, the 28th, 28 reduces to 10, reducing to 1. So we have new beginnings with the 1, wholeness, unity. Isa is the, kind of looks like the number 1. Isa is the Norn rune for today. We just have one this week. And this is about freezing things into place. It's about contraction. It's about alignment and source presence. But it's keeping the ego, transmuted basically into spirit. The geomancy rune for today is populace, which is kind of going with the flow of others, going with the flow of the group, and it really depends on the makeup of the group as to how that presents and how that manifests. If you're a bunch of people that are crazy and all of that, then you're going to be crazy too, basically. You're going to align with them and not assert your own sense of independence. So kind of an iffy rune. Taurus is the moon, and we switch today to surrender and the beat for the human design. Today I did it again. On Saturday, to surrender and the beat for the human design channels on Saturday, the 28th. I'm always in the moment, right? Align in harmony with others on Saturday so that a new shared path can unfold. Allow spirit to inform the process so that any unexpected outcomes are kept in perspective. A sextile between the moon and Neptune on Saturday may take you down a spiritual path where you influence others to shift their own perceptions, and that's the moon trine Pluto. Or you may bring everyone in your home together for a special meal made from Thanksgiving Day leftovers, that you can create together. Either way, this is a day for sustenance and nurturing, both physical and spiritual, and that's the moon opposite Juno. Although security brings to mind finances and income, our true security is found in our relationships with others. Over this holiday weekend, consider how you engage with family and whether or not you're on a shared path. We've the families and the friendships and the relationships have really taken a beating over the last 4 years. So be particularly mindful of this. Do you cooperate with others, or do you push your views on them without listening? Diversity within a family can provide both enlightenment and challenges. However, its collective strength is supported by relationships based on shared values and truth, not fantasy. Okay? If that has been lacking, Saturday might be the day to drop resistance and listen to the perspectives of others. Well, that's true of any day, really. Doing so may be all that's needed, though, to set a new course together. And that's the human design and I Ching information for Saturday. Again, relationships have taken a beating. And in this 22-year, the profound soul manifestation, the profound change that's soul-based, realistically, I mean, it can manifest in a variety of ways, but what it really is talking about is our relationships together. You know, if you look at the 22, excuse me, as two twos, how far apart are they? Well, right now, they're pretty far apart, like one's in the next county, right? And the other's just kind of sitting there going, how did we get here? Well, it really doesn't matter at this point. All that matters is that we realign together. Okay? And that could be difficult. All right? You got people that don't really want to hear the other side. Sometimes the other side makes zero sense. They believe conspiracy things that simply do not play out. It's not happening. But unfortunately, it's gotten everybody so upset that now they see everything that anyone else wants as a bad thing, irrespective of whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. It's like, I'm just not going to listen to you. I'm going to listen to, and you're going to find out coming up, all right? It's going to take some time. But as more truth about the guy in the Oval Office comes out, you're going to find that loyalty was misplaced, all right? You know, sometimes you get a guy, it's like Hitler, you know, he convinced all kinds of people of his way, but we all know what happened there. This is the same kind of experience. He has convinced people of all this stuff. He is aligned with their own personal grievances, their own personal sense of conspiracy out in the world, and he's magnified it for his own gain, financial gain. Okay? And to remain in power to be able to do whatever he wants to do. We're going to know that here, collectively. We're all going to know it. We're all going to have to face it. And the damage that's been done not only to the country, but to our relationships. Which, trust me, they're more important than anything. They really are. And so, again, use this holiday time to kind of bring things back into perspective, not just now, but through December as well. Use this time to really rethink and reassess where you've been now that a new path is starting. And see if there's some way to just drop resistance and leave that stuff aside so that the love can return. All right? Eventually, the truth is going to be known by everyone. And some of this is going to resolve itself because of that. All right? When you realize that you've been conned, when you realize you've been treated like nothing more than a mark, believe me, it isn't going to sit well with people, and they're going to get angry. But the bottom line is, we have to find our way back to one another. And I realize that's not going to happen immediately. It's just not. But we can begin that process of undoing the damage now. You know, take this time where we've lost so many people. How many more do we want to lose by not taking precautions, by not staying apart right now? It's hard, I know, especially if you have lost people. But it's vital that we do that right now. And we remember why we're doing it. So we preserve life. So we have one another to come back together. Right? That's really all this is about. Learning how to be in this life and remember that we're one as we do it. The ego gets in the way, but it doesn't have to. It's a choice. Always has been. All of this is a choice. We just have to remember that. going forward. So try to have a happy Thanksgiving if you can. I know this has been a time of great loss for so many. And if you can't bear it, then don't do it. Just let it be another day. All right? And maybe just postpone it until next year. The whole thing. You can do that. It's fine. So, this is a difficult time for a lot of people. And maybe we just need to hold all of them in our thoughts and in our hearts. So, have a good week. And wear a mask if you're around anyone at all. Inside or out, doesn't matter. Put a mask on. And be good to yourself. Be good to one another. And blessed be.